Hi, I'm Brian Skinner with InformedEntrepreneur.com. I'm here today with Matt Sando of Modern Heating and Air Conditioning. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started with the business?
Yeah, Modern Heating and Air Conditioning started briefly 2 years ago. I previously worked in the trade in Connecticut for 16 years, and it was always my dream, to start my own business and do things the way I want it done, with a focus on superior customer service, with a blend of, high efficiency energy solutions at a residential standpoint.
Okay. What was your background coming into the business?
My background coming to the business, I initially, went to Gateway Community College and got my degree in automotive technology. And for 5 years, I was an automotive technician. Um, I learned a lot of stuff, and it got me in the forefront. I was always good mechanically with my hands. I did enjoy it. It just wasn't, it wasn't for me. But I did gain a huge, vast knowledge in the technology aspect of the automotive industry.
Is there something that happened in your life that triggered you to want to open up Modern Heating and Air Conditioning?
Yeah, well, my dad worked for a utility company, and I grew up with him in the field, working on heating and air conditioning equipment. And he initially gave me the suggestion to look into it because he knew I was good with my hands, and I wasn't 100% satisfied for the long term in the career that I had chosen. So I decided to start a new career and work for a company under the Connecticut apprenticeship. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed not working in the same place, being on the road, working in people's homes, and um, dealing with different people all the time in their home environments.
Awesome. I'm reading a lot about technology changes within heating, air conditioning, and just energy use in general. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you're seeing?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. The technology has come very, very far in, I'd say, the past 10 years. Right now we're going through a transition period where the technology is pretty much, it's very comparable to the automotive industry, which we're going from the old carbureted cars to the high efficiency fuel injected cars in the home market. Um, uh, People in homes, they're really, they're upset, and they're tired of paying these utility bills that end up, when they're all bundled together, they come out to the
Yeah.
same, if not more, than their mortgage payment on their house, and they really don't. Everyone, they're it's pushing them to um, accept this new technology in a house,
Yeah.
and it's really proven. It works. It really does.
It's funny that you say that because just last month I paid $325 for natural gas in my house, and I've been reading so much about um, how there's so much natural gas being brought onto the domestic market through fracking and shale exploration all around the country, even especially in the eastern seaboard here in Pennsylvania, New York. So I thought that my natural gas bill, like being that high, was outrageous, and it made me look into what else can I be doing to make my house more efficient. Um, so is there anything that you can offer? Is there something that sticks out to you when it comes to efficiency and energy usage in a home?
Yeah, absolutely. When I meet with clients at their home, a lot of the times they have the same problems, whether it's they have an electric heat pump system, an oil system, or an older gas system. As far as heating your home, natural gas is definitely the cheapest way to heat your home versus oil, propane, or electric. But a lot of the times, you probably have the older technology, which works very inefficient. Um, after insulating your house and upgrading windows, a lot of the times these older houses, they don't need, you have double the capacity of the boiler system in your house or furnace. So you basically have a big oversized power plant in your house that's consuming way too much energy that you
Mm-hmm.
need to actually meet the the load conditions of your house.
This definitely makes me think twice about all these different thoughts I'm having and how to make my home more efficient. Where do you see the industry going, in general over the next 5 or so years?
Well, the new technology that's out there, it's here to stay. When cars first came out, they had the older carbureted style systems, and in the 80s, the new fuel injection systems were introduced to the market, and a lot of people were hesitant to it. But as we know now, the newer technology in automobiles is a proven technology. It's the same way with the house. Your cars are a lot more reliable than they were before, and it's the same thing with the heating systems. They're much more reliable. They have better warranties. They have better components. The computer boards are very, they all the parts, they last on them. You have cars nowadays, they go 200, 300,000 miles versus, the older technology, a car you would start having problems at 30, 40,000 miles.
Yeah, yeah. I remember reading that when they first built cars in the early 30s that they were made to last like 5 or 10,000 miles and you replace it every year.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, guys, we got to do something about this. I guess that whole line of thinking is applied to everything, even heating and air conditioning systems.
Exactly.
With your company, Modern Heating and Air Conditioning, where do you see yourself going with the company as we continue on?
Our main focal point right now is, we basically specialize in the residential market in your home. We do light commercial, but we really are emphasizing in people's homes and lowering their cost of living. As we know, cost of living nowadays has gotten so high.
Yeah.
We enjoy really finding, low energy solutions from a home standpoint.
Yeah, I find today that people view home efficiency and their heating and air conditioning as an investment. Being able to think about that as, okay, I spend a little bit more money now, what's it going to save me as I live in this house over the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years? The same thing that you run into?
Absolutely. Especially right, the way the economy was the past few years, a lot of people, a lot of people were affected by the economy, but a lot of people that weren't affected, they changed their habits of spending money. And a lot of them, they looked at this as an opportunity to reinvest into their house, which, it's definitely an investment. And, the newer equipment is definitely a little bit more pricier, but I tell clients, you have to look at it through an investment standpoint. I just did a high efficiency system this week for a client in Milford, and, he was telling me, he loves the equipment. He was just kind of nervous about spending the money. And then when it was all said and done, I said to him, I said, you could go out and buy a car, tomorrow and come see me in a year and a half, and I guarantee you the depreciation of that car is going to equal out to what you just spent on your air conditioning system. So it's really not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's going to pay you back every month,
For your buck.
Yep, you buy a new Carrier 21 SEER central air system, which uses 30% less electricity. Your operating costs are 30% less than your old system that's inadequate at your house now. That's going to pay you back every month. With electricity rates, state of Connecticut has the second highest electricity rate in the country. Hawaii being number one. It goes to show you, it's definitely worth, spending money and getting the right equipment for your home.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier that we pay 18 cents a kilowatt in Connecticut, and the states out west pay 3 cents.
Sure.
And I'm definitely feeling that personally in my electricity bill during the summer months.
Sure. And I tell people, one of the first things I ask when they're inquiring about air conditioning, I ask them, I say, wouldn't you much rather have a high efficiency system where you can use it more times out of the year than have to just wait till the 90-degree disgusting weather?
Exactly.
I have, clients that upgraded, and they actually, their feedback to me was, they began using their equipment and became more comfortable in their home because their usage time went up. When you had that low 80-degree day, but with 100% humidity, people were, just humidifying their house, and they were more comfortable. Whereas, a lot of the times they would get, they would not want the high utility bills,
Yeah.
so they would wait for the last, the worst days or the worst weeks of the year, and come to find out, they're spending all this money on air conditioning, but they're only using it for maybe 2-3 weeks out of the summer.
Crazy.
It doesn't really make sense.
So for the people out there who have questions about efficiency and looking at new systems and options to kind of cut out some of these problems that we just talked about, what would be the best way for them to reach you at Modern Heating and Air Conditioning?
Well, there's a few different ways you can reach us. Obviously, if you want to see what we're about, you can go to our website, modernhvacct.com.
Mm-hmm.
We have a ton of great information on there. We have, a nice gallery where you can see our work and our equipment that's installed, or you could call us at the office at 203-283-0593.
Awesome. Thank you for your time today, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
I'm Brian Skinner with InformedEntrepreneur.com. I just want to thank Matt Sando for sitting down with us today and telling us a little bit more about his business, Modern Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you.